My college love life is a hot mess. It was my first few semesters at college, and we were a tight-knit group, 4 amigos, 3 lads, and a laddie. I'll refer to myself as Felipe, the lads as Alan and David, and the laddie as Inge. It was a challenging time, mostly because I found myself carrying the group academically. They weren't exactly the most driven students, but they were great friends, and we had a lot of fun together. We did everything as a group. I hosted study sessions and group work in my dorm room. Thankfully, both genders were allowed in. Although we had a strict curfew at 10 p.m., we ate together, played games, and shared just about every aspect of college life. David and I got especially close because we both loved playing Dota 2. Alan, our unofficial leader, was the captain of our Dota team, but we didn't always see eye to eye. He was bossy, both in the game and in real life. Inge was cool, a fellow weeb like me, but she was also a fujoshi, a female weeb obsessed with yaoi. Alan was a bit of an all-or-nothing guy. He only knew 2 speeds: break the roof or slam it hard down to the concrete. Go hard or go home was practically his motto. David, on the other hand, was the calm, cool, and highly successful playboy of the group. He must have banged at least 50 women, if not more. He was great with women, not so much with academics. And then there was Ing, half-broken, as I saw it, because of her father's problems. He had cancer, couldn't afford treatment, and smoked every day, much to her frustration. I messaged Inge almost every day. We both loved anime manga, and shipping our favorite characters. Over time, we opened up to each other. I told her about my struggles as the firstborn in a religious family, and she shared the painful details of her deteriorating relationship with her father and mother. We often chatted late into the night, sometimes until midnight or even later, depending on the topic. That's when I started to develop feelings for her, feelings I hated because I couldn't control them. One day after class, I saw Inge sitting with Alan. I almost waved, but something inside me snapped. A demon whispered in my ear, telling me to go into Hulk smash mode. I felt sick, angry, and filled with a desire to do something terrible. So instead of confronting them, I walked to the parking lot, got on my motorbike, and rode off to buy some meat buns and tea, my usual remedy for a bad mood. Back in my dorm, I put on some weed music, ate my meat bun, and tried to calm down. But my thoughts were chaotic. What was that? It was like a demon telling me to dominate her, I thought. I think I've fallen for her. So, what must I do to get rid of this feeling? I was frantic, scared of turning into one of those pushy dickheads you see in anime, forcing themselves on the heroine. So instead of confessing my feelings, I decided to distance myself from her and Alan. I stopped messaging her late at night and started avoiding them whenever I saw them together. Days passed, and every time I saw Inge with Alan, I pretended not to know them, turning my face away. I did this for weeks until Inge finally confronted me. We met at the benches in the campus park, just the 2 of us. I sat down, and she sat across from me. "Something happened. You keep avoiding me. You don't even reply to my chats," she said. "I thought you were going out with Alan. You spend most of your time with him," I blurted out, trying to mask my true feelings. "Oh God, I am not. I'm just accompanying him because our classes are mostly together," she explained. "Oh, well, I thought I was in the way," I mumbled, too scared to confess my feelings. In my mind, I was screaming, "I can't confess. I can't. I'm scared of failure, scared I might break our friendship, scared she might hate me." "Don't be a loser, lol. Come on, let's hang out together again sometime," she said, offering me a fist bump. "All right then, princess, it's a deal," I replied, meeting her fist with mine. Gradually, our group got back together. We went out for sushi, played games, watched anime, and just had a good time. The next few semesters were great because our classes aligned, and I got to spend more time with Inge. During the long breaks between classes, I'd invite her to lunch, sit with her in the park, or watch anime in the library to pass the time. Alan and David both knew I was into her, but subtlety was never my strong suit. Alan occasionally tried to ask her out on dates, but she always declined. She turned me down too, but I kept telling myself, to the long game, as I stared at the blue sky. I started messaging her again, and looking back, I think I did well. Despite how much we opened up to each other, I never felt like we crossed any boundaries. I told her about my late asthmatic mother and my Karen grandma, and she told me about her sick father. We were both spiraling, fighting our own battles, but we leaned on each other for support. Months passed, and her father's condition worsened. He smoked more, complained about his unfulfilled life, and seemed to take out his frustrations on Inge. She retaliated by tearing up his cigarettes, leaving a mess of tobacco in the trash. It was loud, stressful, and depressing, she told me. After that confrontation with her father, Inge started to fall apart. She stopped showing up to class, didn't do any assignments, and became a hollow shell of herself. I wanted to help her, to at least keep her on track with her studies, so I made the biggest mistake of my life. I offered to do her assignments for her as long as she attended classes, but she refused, telling me to go away. She said she'd take a semester off to deal with her father. A few days later, she messaged me. "My father passed away," she wrote. "Oh God, my prayers are with him. Are you okay?" I replied, unsure of what else to say. "I'm not. That's why I'm talking to you," she answered. "I'm here. If you need anything, just ask me." "How's your family?" I asked. "Mother and my brother are still here in our house. We just need time to grieve," she said. "Good. Now go make some tea and drink with your family," I suggested, trying to offer some comfort. "You think it'll help?" she asked. "I don't know. But you can cry and scream at me later if it makes things worse. For now, go make that sweet jasmine tea and drink it with your family," I insisted. "All right, you old man. What a bossy prick," she replied playfully. "And to you too, you bloody spoiled princess," I teased back. Seconds, days, weeks, and months passed in the blink of an eye. Nobody knew where Inge went or what she was doing. We just kept going with our studies, almost reaching the finish line. I checked my attendance one day and glanced at the list for another class. Her name was there, but she never showed up. What was she doing wasting her parents' money? I thought angrily, but I decided to check on her later. After the sun set and my assignments were done, I messaged her. "Hey, you okay?" I asked. "Yeah, I'm good now. How's it going?" she replied. "Good. It's just that you never showed up." "Why?" I asked, worried about her. "That's because I decided to drop out of college," she answered, dropping a bombshell on me. "What? Why? You have me. I can work on your assignments. Just please come back. It's only 2 more semesters until you can graduate. I can help," I pleaded, desperate to keep her in my life. "I don't need your help. I've made up my mind. This city is already full of bad memories. First Alan, then my father, then you. Don't be a kid. Open your eyes. I don't need your help. Just go away. I can take care of myself and my brother. I'm private teaching middle schoolers now, and I can get a better job. Without you," she lashed out. I'm sorry. It's your life and your choice. You're right, I've been a greedy brat. Of course, no one wants to be controlled. Good luck to you. Goodbye," I said, heartbroken. NOREPLYNOREPLYNOEP. A few days later, I deleted her number from Telegram. 4 years went by. I graduated from college and started working at my uncle's company. I worked diligently, except on Fridays when I go home to my brother and aunt. We'd eat meals together. But deep down, I couldn't shake the feeling of failure. I was scared of relationships, aware that I was a greedy, forceful manipulator, a garbage of a man. One day during lunch break, I got a text message. "Hey, is this Felipe?" The message read. "Hey, how did you even get my number?" "I never told you, and I'm no longer on Telegram," I replied, surprised. I found your Facebook through a mutual friend. How are you? I've been thinking about the old days, the message continued. Are you Inge? What happened to you? I asked, a mix of emotions flooding back. I'm Inge, yes. I've been working as a translator for a Japanese anime company, she replied. Good for you. At least you found your way, I said, genuinely happy for her. And you? Still playing Dota 2. Did you join a Dota team, she asked. Yeah, I'm still playing, but I'm just focused on work now. I'm no longer interested in dating or anything like that, I answered, trying to keep the conversation light. I see. Hey, can we meet sometime? I've got something to tell you, she suggested. I'm not sure, Inge. You'll just be disappointed in me. I hesitated, not wanting to reopen old wounds. Okay, but it'd be nice to meet at least once, she said, leaving the invitation open. Sure, text me your location, and I'll let you know if I'm available, I replied, still uncertain. Noreplynoreply. Felipe, you've got a message, my brother said, snapping me out of my thoughts. I grabbed my phone, saw the message, and sighed. I wasn't ready to face her. Maybe I never would be. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and decided to focus on the present. The past was a painful memory, one I didn't want to revisit.